motivated by an ongoing pressure to vote the way that their husband, their boss, or their son believed you should. That's what she said, literally, in this interview. And the left is up in arms about this. The publication by The Hill says Democrats are so angry that Hillary Clinton continues to discuss what went wrong during the 2016 presidential election against President Trump. Even some of Clinton's own former aides and surrogates say the Democratic presidential nominee should back away from the discussion about her failed campaign because it's harmful to the party. Are they finally saying she's toxic?
I know that Eric the Tech is just beside himself.
I know. He doesn't want to see her go away.
No.
But she has been nothing but an embarrassment after her failed attempt at the election. And, to say that what I don't know. Do people write this stuff? Do people write these things for her? Does she just get up there and say whatever's on her mind?
Remember, there's two different scripts. She admitted this, one for public consumption, one for private consumption. Maybe she got them mixed up.
Maybe, but either way, she needs to go. And
by the way, thank you to the listener who made a comment about Perkins Coie. Remember Robert Bauer, who is the husband of Anita Dunn. Anita Dunn was Obama's White House communications director and basically a worshiper of Mao Zedong. And Robert Bauer, of course, is Anita Dunn's husband, who is or was the chief of the political law group at Perkins Coie headquarters in Seattle. Just want to kind of make that connection.
Yeah. So, well, hopefully we don't ever have to talk about Hillary Clinton again, but the remarks she made did not, nobody was happy after she made these remarks. And it just, her pattern of blaming anybody else but herself. And is the Democratic Party sick of her? Is she doing more harm than good? And obviously we believe she is. So if they keep her around, if they keep her in the news, well, that's just better for the opponents in opposition to Hillary Clinton. I want to bring up this story. I don't think many people heard this, and maybe you will hear about this over the next 24 hours, because this is what is going to be used as a talking point, as an example of why teachers should not be armed, and President Trump's policies on wanting to arm teachers and have more guns in school to protect against mass shootings is so bad. Teacher accidentally fires gun and injures students during safety lesson. Sounds pretty bad, huh? And I've seen this headline in a number of ways, twisting what actually happened. Long story short, a teacher accidentally discharged his firearm at the ceiling in a California high school on Tuesday. And apparently they say there's 3 injuries where people were hit with the debris that came down from the ceiling, whatever it was. There was no major injuries. And this guy was performing a safety class. But I've heard a few people argue that this is, this is exactly why we should not have guns in school and blah, 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 blah. Well, obviously this teacher, and we've seen other examples of this where people in doing gun safety training classes misfire the weapon. There was a famous one of an FBI guy who shot himself in the leg. Yeah. That's probably one of the most popular on YouTube you can find. But the teacher's been placed on administrative leave, and this is how they're spinning it, CNN. I think a lot of questions on parents' mind are, why would a teacher be pointing a loaded firearm at a ceiling in front of students? And it's unclear why the teacher was displaying the firearm or if he was even supposed to be using the firearm in his safety training. But we're not talking about, this has nothing to do with the policy of arming teachers, because what we're talking about. No, exactly. And they're going to pick the story up and run with it. Yep. You can guarantee it. But see, I don't know if this teacher, one, was authorized to have the gun in class and this was part of the lesson plan, but did he go through the proper training? Because see, having the weapon is only part of the what the platform Donald Trump is trying to put forward with arming more teachers. Having the gun is just one of the issues. The training, the learning about and how to use the weapon, the learning how to shoot it, how to handle it, how to store it, how to clean it. All this is part of it. And whether or not this teacher had that experience or not is completely, that's important for this case. But when we're talking about a program.
Joe, I just want to kind of pipe in here. I really believe that every person, every child, upon reaching, the age of, 12, should be taught gun safety, should be taught, should be familiar with exactly every aspect of handling a gun, a real live gun. If you're 12 years old, if you're a boy or a girl, and you're, the parents would have to make the decision about the maturity level. But I think you should be exposed to the weapons, know how to handle them, and have that training, because it could very well save their lives. It's because of
they always use a bad example.
Yeah, and there are no accidental discharges. There are negligent discharges, not accidental discharges.
And it's like with the police. The only thing that's ever highlighted by police officers' conduct and behavior is when there is a questionable crime or a questionable incident, or somebody gets shot. You don't see the countless videos or instances where they're helping homeless people or doing something nice or good or positive in the community. They only highlight the very negative cases that draw controversy. And it's the same thing with stories like this, especially in this intensified time through the gun debate. And no doubt CNN will run with this and try to use it to discredit teachers having guns. But either way, something needs to change with the school policies, and I believe President Trump has backed off the age restriction that he called for just a few weeks ago, saying that the age of being able to purchase a gun should be 21, and he's backed off that completely. And we've seen nothing really being done on a legislative front, regardless of the mainstream media's month-long push to try to ban the Second Amendment. So just to keep your eye out for that story, to understand that this teacher misfiring or firing a gun in a classroom has nothing to do with the policies that need to be put forth to make schools safer.
And it goes back to what I opened with. The left is attempting, or that the progressive fascists or the liberal fascists are attempting to control the optics and control the story, control the narrative in every situation, and exploit things like this, as you mentioned, to misdirect the conversation. And I truly believe that this is what's happening, whether it's Mueller, guns, name the topic. They're attempting to do this. The Office of Professional Responsibility with the FBI and McCabe, they are, and they're cunning, they're sly, they're exquisitely demonic, I believe, in what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They're experts. So we cannot play. Look, even as a Christian, as a conservative, I do not believe that we can play by their rules, nor should we. I think we have to make our own rules and play by those, just the same way that the leftists, the liberal fascists have done.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying break, any commandments and everything like that. What I'm saying is
be smart.
Be smart. Stick to the Constitution, and you'll never go wrong. And the Bible.
Scripture say, be wise as serpents and gentle as doves.
That's right.
And there's no reason, just because you're a Christian, that does not mean you can't be cunning and smart about moving forward and understanding the battlefield. We have to understand, we've been talking about this a lot lately. What is this battle for? They are battling in real time, not only for, the control of the world, but also, most importantly, it's a battle for your soul. And once you remember that, and once you keep that front and center in your mind when engaging in this battle, it will make things much more clear as to why things happen the way they do. But with that said, we are already at the end of the first hour on this Thursday edition. When we come back, Charles Brandt is going to be our guest. I Heard You Paint Houses. This is a book that has now been optioned into a movie with Scorsese and Robert De Niro. It's about Frank the Irishman Sheeran and the Jimmy Hoffa case. We've had Mr. Brandt on the show before, but we're going to talk with him again as this has been optioned into a movie. And who doesn't love mafia movies, even with the despicable Robert De Niro, who seems to be the icon for mafia movies from the 1980s onward. We'll be right back after these messages. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's Employee of the Month, 2 months in a row. Leave a message at the... Hi, Jamie. It's me, Jamie. I just had a new idea for our song about the Name Your Price tool. So when it's like, tell us what you want to pay, hey, 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 and the trombone goes, blah, 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 and you say, we'll help you find coverage options to fit your budget. Then we just all do finger snaps while a choir goes, savings coming at ya, savings coming at ya. Yes? No? Maybe? Anyway, see your practice tonight. I got new lyrics for the rap break.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Folks, I want to direct your attention to the Hagmann Report, of course. HagmannReport.com. HagmannReport.com. I'm going to say it a third time, HagmannReport.com. There, Bill Chapman's got just a tremendous article. Well, you can read it. It's titled, Why Does Media Matters Matter? Clever title. And really, he wrote what I wish I would have written. A great piece by Bill Chapman. Also,
I'd say that media matters doesn't matter except for the damage that they do.
Well, look, yeah, they matter immensely when you look at the landscape. I'm going to stop there. And remember Andrew Kerr as well. He's still with us, of course, at the periphery of certain things there. Remember we had him on and talking about related issues. I'll just leave it at that. But definitely hit HagmannReport.com. Folks, bookmark that website. But check out the latest by Bill Chapman and also the latest by Dane Wigington as well. And, of course, an article by Joe's up there. Very interesting and well done. But so please, bookmark HagmannReport.com. Also, do us a favor, all right? Do us a solid. Follow us on Twitter, on Facebook. The more we have in numbers, the better our visibility is. That's an obvious statement, but also there's a level of insulation. Remember what I said earlier last week? We're in the process of doing some things. We're trying some things. Or not trying. We are in the process of putting together certain teams, including but not limited to legal teams. We are fighting back. We're fighting for you. We're fighting the censorship. We're fighting the fake news accusations. But now we're turning the corner, and the shoe will be on the other foot with certain people, certain groups, certain. That's all I'm going to say. So follow us on social networking, as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button, and please follow us on Blog Talk Radio Network. That's right, BTR, the Hagmann Report, the Doug Hagmann Radio Show, and the Hagmann Daily Show. All three. Now, our next guest here, this gentleman is just a tremendous. I could talk to him for weeks at a time. Charlie Brandt. I heard you paint houses, and we had Charlie Brandt on. I think it was pretty close to a year ago, right about this time, and he spoke a lot about many different things. In fact, we're going to be getting into certain things, including but not limited to Jimmy Hoffa and what Charlie Brandt did on behalf of the United States, on behalf of our nation. So when we have him, let me know. We got him. We got him. All right. Charlie Brandt.
Howdy. Thank you for your kind words.
Hey, I was at a wedding. I don't know when it was. I think it was before Christmas. People there knew you. They were all feds. And of course, everyone knew you there. So I won't get into any more detail than that. But so you're.
I appreciate that.
You're a legend.
Well, thank you.
Lawyer, prosecutor, best-selling author, and speaker. Mr. Brandt, if you don't mind, you were with us about a year ago. But if you could just kind of give everyone kind of a thumbnail sketch of your background, just to start us off.
Be happy to.
All right.
Be happy to. I started out as a prosecuting attorney in the office of the Attorney General of the state of Delaware. And the Attorney General of the state of Delaware is the highest law enforcement officer in the state and handles everything from drunk driving cases to mass murder cases. And when I was hired, this was 1971, the Attorney General said to me that the U.S. Supreme Court was making, in the process of making a lot of rules governing police conduct, what they could do, what they couldn't do. And he didn't want there to be any mistakes made by the cops on major cases. And so he wanted me as a new hire to go to the crime scene in any murder and participate in the investigation, kind of oversee it, and anticipate what new rules might come about so that, let's say, you're allowed to question somebody under the following circumstances. Well, that rule may go out of favor, and be eliminated. So you want to be on the lookout for that. And I've